YouTube? It's BloodGuy99 here, and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own Captain America shield in honor of Captain America the Winter Soldiers in theaters. So you're going to want to start off this build by getting a flexible flyer steel saucer sled. You can find these around Christmas, but you can get them online at certain websites. And then as you can see, it has like this metal rolled trim on it, but that doesn't look good for a Captain America shield. So we're going to have to get rid of that. Now measure out your shield. Mine was 27 inches, and I would go to the middle and I would drill a small hole into the middle of the shield. Next, taking a piece of plywood with a nail in it, drill a hole as far as you can on the bend of the wood, and then put a pen in it and then spin it around. This will give you a perfect circle that you can cut out later using a jigsaw, as you can see. I would recommend going over this whole thing in Sharpie. Then drill a hole below that. This will be used for your jigsaw blade to go through. And you want to use a metal jigsaw blade. These are like special metal ones. And you want to go very slow with this. Once you're done, you should get something like this. And you want to sand the edges down so they're not so sharp. Then you're going to want to strip the paint using a paint stripper, and this is very, very messy, so I didn't videotape all of that, but you should get to the metal beneath. And then I would just wet sand that down. Then taking a paint stick with a nail in it, you're going to want to put this in the middle of the hole you made earlier with a stripping pad, and then just spin it around. This will give your shield a nice spun look that looks a lot better when the paint's on later. Next, using the star template, you're going to want to make the lines or the circles for your stars. So from that one piece of wood we made earlier, I did 4 inches away from the nail, then 2.5 inches from that, and then 2.5 inches from that. Then you're going to want to drill holes in those areas and do the same thing we did with the pen earlier, but I would recommend using a pencil for this. You should get something that looks a little bit like this. Now using a thin tape, I would go around all of the circles and try to make it as clean as you can, like so. Then using a blue painter's tape, cover up the rest. For the paint, I'm using this Duplicolor Metal Cast anodized paint. Now you can get these anywhere, at any auto store, I should say. Walmart, I do not think carries these. And I was originally going to use this Perfect Match Automotive Clear Coat, but from what I read online, this is not a good product, so I would not recommend this. To paint using this anodized paint, you want to be 6 inches away from the shield, and you want to go in one light coat. And you won't see the paint very, very colorful right now, but you want to go around the whole entire shield like this. Then go around a second time the entire shield, and then the paint should start to be a lot thicker and a lot more of the color. And you want to do this in one big coat around the whole shield, and then let it sit for exactly 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm saying that because if you do it any more than 10 minutes, you're going to have to wait 48 hours for this to completely dry, according to the instructions. This is my second coat, and as you can see, the color is very rich. After about 5 or 6 hours, you can begin to peel off the tape. This is my favorite part of the build. You should get something that looks a lot like this, hopefully. Now we're going to have to do the blue. This is a star that I'll show you how to make later. So using the star template, cut out the inner star part, and you want to put this over the shield, and then tape this down using that thinner tape we used earlier, like so. Then tape off the rest of the circle, and then use paper to tape off the rest of the shield. This is done because you want to JB weld the star on later, and you don't want to put it on the paint. Then paint it just the way I showed you earlier with the blue. Now the star looked really ugly, but it doesn't matter because there's another aluminum star we're going to put over that later, and just the JB weld will need to attach to the metal. If you have any dents or scrapes in your shield, you can always tape them back off and paint over it. Just make sure you tape off all the rest of the shield. I would recommend doing a full wet sand over the entire shield once all the paint's done by just putting sandpaper in water. And it'll dull all of the glossiness of the paint, but that won't matter because we're going to be doing the gloss next. For the gloss, I'm using the Rust-Oleum American Accents Ultra Cover 2X Gloss Clear. This is an excellent product, and if you do it right, you want to go in thin layers leading up to one thick layer. This will create your shield's very, very shiny texture and look. Make sure you also tape off the star once again. Now, using a luminous sheet I got at Menards, you want to tape the whole star onto your shield, or onto the aluminum. Then tape it down, and using a straight edge, cut out the star. This should leave an imprint of the star behind. Now, carefully wiggle. You're not trying to bend the aluminum, just wiggle it, and you should start to feel the edges bend and snap off. Now you're going to want to JV weld this onto your shield. For the straps, just go out and get an old belt or a new belt, and want to cut it up into a few pieces. One small piece, and you want to take two of the strap pieces, the one with the hole and then the one with the buckle, and this is going to be the adjustable one for your forearm, and it's going to be attached to the shield with some screws later. Now, attach a piece of tape for showing where the top of the shield is, and then get some machine screws and an epoxy, an instant mix epoxy, and you're just going to want to glue these down to your shield, like so. You want to do this in 4 different places, pretty far away from each other. I eventually covered it back up with JV Weld to make them a little bit stronger. After that, it's all dry. Put your straps through the screws and tighten them with a bolt on top. These are how the final straps should look. Then you're done. This is your own very own Captain America shield. Alright guys, I hope you liked this build. This was a lot of fun for me to build, and I'm a huge fan of Captain America, and this is probably one of the best pieces I've made for a shield. But if you don't want to go out and buy these very special anodized paints, and you just want to make a regular old-fashioned Captain America comic book shield, you can do the same process I showed you, but with the white paints and red and some blue you can get at Walmart. The only thing you want to change is that you don't have to do the spun texture. I would just prime it with white, and then the star isn't actually aluminum. It's just painted on. And then for the battle damage I did on this shield, basically you take black or brown spray paint, you spray it in like a huge puddle, take a paintbrush and instantly just swipe it, and you'll get these cool looking battle drawn effects. And these don't have straps yet, but I built this one. This is my first shield that I built, showing you that this is so easy and so cheap that you can actually, build a lot. So thanks guys for watching, and I hope you look at my other videos and subscribe. Comment down below for any other projects you'd like to see me build. So thank you guys.